Finally got my 87 F150 running great. Had a voltage leak at the core from a crack in it. Whoa, that, my friend, is a secondary ignition problem. Okay, usually those are detected under the load. Okay, now if you're unable to put your car in that scenario, load that is. All right, you can, however, simulate a load by bogging it down. That's the terminology mechanic use. Yes, bog it down, put it in gear, hit on the brake while you're in gear. That simulates a load. That, my friend, likely would have been picked up then. So that's why a lot of this stuff is intermittent to people, because they are not sure how to put their car in the scenario. Y'all know what a freeze frame is. I was so glad when we were able to see what happened in the past when the code was set. Okay, so if you can put your car in the same window that the problem arises, that is the best way to diagnose intermittent problems. Like, we used to get problems all the time. It hesitates sometimes. Well, if I go drive your car and I'm never under a load, I will never duplicate your concern, right? So I've grown accustomed to just test driving under all scenarios. I go up a hill, I go down a hill, I go straight, I punch it, I'll bog it down. I'm trying to duplicate your concern if I can. But that, my friend Tyler Harden, was a good find. All right, that is what's up, man. Good for you, man. Glad you got this thing figured out and back up and running. Okay, where did I go off? All right. VW Rutan 2011 SCE 3.6 Pentastar have issues with the oxygen sensor related codes. Replace a new oh my man, get out. That's not a new sensor. Getting codes of slow response and high volts. Note that the ECM has been replaced with a used one. My man, Rutan, that's the same, pretty much the same as everything is the same electronically. Now, mistake number one, and I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to keep it honest with you. I'm gonna have to keep it 100 with you, right? NTK, these aftermarket O2 sensors. Oh, no, big fan of. 3 sensors I refuse to get aftermarket. I don't care what my scenario is. If this is the only one last on Earth, on planet Earth, if this is the only one on Earth, then yes, it's the only reason I would do it. O2 sensors, crank sensors, cam sensors. No. They have to be OEM. For me. That's me. That's my preference. Okay, you don't have to roll like that. But I can't even go no further with this comment because I'm still stuck on the mere fact that you have aftermarket O2 sensors. Replace new NTK sensors, have issues with oxygen sensors related codes. Replace new NTK getting codes of slow response. Slow response, man. That's that instead of doing this like it's supposed to, the waveform, it's lazy. It's like it dictates like a worn out, a sensor that's been on too long. That's how I gauge when it's time to replace a O2 sensor. Sure, that's a window that the computer uses. If you're out of this window, it's going to set a code. But you can grade how well your O2 sensor is working. Guys, with anything age related, going to come depth. All right, so as that O2 sensor gets old, instead of doing this, it's going, all right, I'm tired. I'm 80 years old now. All right, I'm 100. I just crossed 100. It's really doing like this now. Now, the check engine light ain't going to come on until 110. But in the meantime, you're doing this, you're burning gas, emissions are a little out of strain. So they $60. Why not just get a new one? And that is one code I replaced without waiting on a check engine light. Ali. That's your name? Good name, bro. You gotta try some. You gotta get some O2. You gotta get some OEM sensors. All right. Yes, OEM. Now, I'm not saying that's gonna fix your problem. You very well could have. What is this? Getting codes of slow response at high volts. Note that the ECM has been replaced. I can't even. It's hard to even start or continue with knowing those, because they can also inadvertently mess up the voltage as well. So you got to understand O2 sensors and computers. The only thing in between a computer and a part, in this case, an O2 sensor, is wiring. That's the only thing. That's how they communicate with each other, via wiring. Okay, so if that wiring is on point, meaning you load testing and it is okay from point A to point B, then whatever feed it is at fault. In this case, who knows the outcome or who knows the data that's being received from the O2 sensor because it's aftermarket. I can't spend a lot of time on this, but yeah, man, that O2 sensor is in question. Right? Some manufacturers are sensor sensitive. Sensor sensitive. All right, OEM works best in most cases. Yes, that computer is looking for a special sensor from. No, the computer looking for. Yeah, the computer looking for the right. Uh, yes. What was I saying? The computer. Yes. What Philly said. So, the Grand Cherokee. Yes, man. Grand Cherokee, the '01. Now, don't get me wrong to anybody that's listening that own a Grand Cherokee or used to own one. They are not bad vehicles. They're just outdated. So, and my man that brought it up, about the AC. I guess as soon as we find out what clutches AC, but they served their time, they did their job, they did their purpose. That was a huge ass inline 6-cylinder engine that pollutes the earth. All right, we trying to go green, people. We can't. People always ask me why don't Chrysler bring the inline 6 back? Because it's a gas guzzler and it's polluting the ozone. Okay, no, it will not pass this tightened emission standard that we have out now. Some of the V8s will not. All right, that's why they slowly but surely being phased out. So, you Grand Cherokee owners, now some people traded their Grand Cherokee and got these little old bitty cars that when you're in the wrong lane, it'll lane assist. Okay, you can't just jump. I don't know, man. Let me stop, man. Let me move on because my hair is bothering me. All right. Yes, good point, Philly. Thanks for chiming in, man. Jeep has the Grand Wagoneer now. It is. Yes, I seen one at the car show. I filmed some footage. That thing is freaking huge. Darhemi. Yes, it is huge. The Wagoneer, the new one. I got a course coming up on that thing. New model highlights or something. I don't know if that's on the computer or I got to physically go to school. I don't know, but I can't wait to go because I want to get more info. Frank, what up, Frank? On my 06 300 cheap camshaft position sensor through code instantly. Put OEM and it works like a charm. Only OEM sensors for me. Hey, man, Frank. I cam, crank, and O2. Big no-nos for me. Anything else is debatable. I got to weigh my options. But no, cam and crank is ignition sensors. Those can put you on the side of the road and you can't go anymore. And people used to buy. Let me tell you something, guys. The cam sensor for the PT Cruiser, the one that's set on the side of the head. If you can get one for freaking $15, what does that tell you? Okay, typically they 70, 60, 70 bucks, but you found one on sale for $15. Look. On eBay, what's the company name? Who the freak knows? Who just a new cam sensor, $15. And then people get online and brag about it. I just found a cam sensor brand new for $15. Oh my goodness. Okay. No, people. OEM or no EM. Man, that was good, wasn't it? OEM. It's like Mopar or no par. I didn't make that up. I don't want to be like Cat Williams accusing people of stealing his jokes and things like that.